Well, joining us now to break all of this down is former FBI investigator Bill Daly. Bill, it is so terrific to have your expertise join us on this very important evening. You know, obviously, there are a whole host of people working underneath Sheriff Nanos on this investigation, but the optics of this, attending a basketball game last night, it's raising a lot of questions. What do you make of it?
Well, I think you hit it right on the head. It is optics, and I believe this sheriff is an elected official, and it really is up to the constituents of the county to understand whether or not he's doing his job correctly, and whether he can take a break and go to a basketball game. I mean, if we kind of, and I'm sure Joey can appreciate this. I mean, if the general's having dinner in the officers club, but yet you have the captains, the lieutenants, the platoon commanders, and the people on the ground working on the job, well, it doesn't really matter. They're the ones doing the work, and that's what's happening here. Is that I think one hand you have to say everybody needs a little kind of relief time, but on the other hand, I don't believe this has really impacted the case at all. As we saw, there's a tremendous amount of activity in and around both the Nancy Guthrie's home and her daughter's home. There's all other types of leads that are being followed up both by the FBI as well as the county and other law enforcement agencies. So, as far as the impact of the case, nil, if zero. But for the constituents in the county, they'll need to make their own decision as to, how they see those optics.
Bill, I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. Right now, today, him going to the basketball game, probably not a big deal, but it is indicative when you put the whole story together. I mean, he gave up the crime scene, I think, twice now. We've had multiple folks. Ted Williams, I think, has been the loudest critic of that here on the channel, of giving up the crime scene, allowing it to be contaminated really before the FBI even got there, from the way I understand it. So now the FBI is there. I would imagine they're probably the ones calling the shots, kind of like you're saying, or a lot of other folks, like you said, under him doing the work. Yeah. But when we look at just some of his, and I'm not beating up on him, I feel like this is worth talking about. Some of his decisions early on, by firing the pilot that had the technical skills to do the aircraft surveillance there in the first 3 hours. And basically preventing that from happening, delaying that. And we all know time is critical. I think anybody that watches NCIS knows that. It does kind of build the case that the decisions, at least early on, from the sheriff weren't the great ones.
Yeah, Joey, I would just kind of say is that, perhaps as we kind of go through, individual items, you could say things could have been done better. I do have to say is that most cases where local law enforcement on smaller departments, they don't come across, cases such as this,
Sure.
very often. In fact, it may be a once in a career type of case, and to your point is that, the FBI, once the FBI was alerted between President Trump's initiative in getting all the federal agencies who can support this case involved, and Kash Patel surging resources such as the SIRG team, the serial analyst team, all the people who could be helpful in this investigation and evidence response in place, it is kind of, even though it is a local case still at this point, the FBI is certainly kind of, let's say, leading the charge, at least on the ground, for this matter. So, I think, when you also kind of boil this down, and a lot of times people say, well, why did they release the crime scene? Or in other cases, why did they do this or that? And the thing comes down to is that, small departments, don't have this experience. Sometimes they show up, let's say in this case, and I'm going to give some benefit of the doubt, they roll up on a case, they get a call, there's a missing 84-year-old woman. They don't know how she wandered off. Did she go out for a walk and fall down? Now we can see with much more clarity that the situation was much more grave than that. But at the moment they're showing up and they're taking some initial steps, it may not appear that way to them. So I'm glad the Bureau is involved. As I said, you have the SIRG team, which handles both domestic and international kidnapping cases, abductions. They're the people you want to have at your side. And they're the ones really I have great confidence in kind of, helping lead both the police as well as the family through this ordeal.
Right. I want to ask as well about just the crime scene itself, since we were already talking about it. We see investigators, they keep returning to Nancy Guthrie's home. Why wasn't all the evidence possibly gathered when they first arrived? Is there a reason that they might go back? Now, today, we're seeing them in a drainage area. There's a lot of speculation about what that's about. Is this pretty typical for handling a crime scene, or do you see some abnormalities there in terms of how many times they return and the different areas that they seem to be looking now on day 8?
Many times you'll see that crime scenes are preserved for a long period of time before they're turned back to the family or to the owner of the property, what have you. So, I mean, that would be one thing I'd say, is that it was turned over a bit too quickly. It's not that unusual for people to revisit the scene. If we go back to those horrible murders in Idaho, Moscow, Idaho, is that you did see crime scene technicians, you saw police, you saw FBI, you saw other forensic experts going in and out of that home over a period of time. So as more and more they learn, perhaps they learn maybe the samples that were first taken weren't the best samples taken, and so they need to go back and redo them. Or there's some other evidence that perhaps comes up through a lead or a tip that needed get more clarification on, need to go back in. So it's not that unusual they go back in and out of a crime scene. The only thing is that typically those crime scenes are held in abeyance and closed off until they really are finished with the discovery process.
A lot of twists and turns so far. Bill Daly, we're so grateful to have you with us to help us understand it all. Thank you. See you again very soon.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.